At this time, Madam City Clerk, do we have any guests?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we have Michael Hargrove. Hargrove, we ask you that you come up to the podium. Please state your name and your address, and just keep in mind you have 5 minutes.
Thank you. My name's Michael Hargrove. I live over at 12 Allen Street. Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, in order to further examine both sides as requested on this statue removal issue, I put together some additional notes other than the legal ones that I covered in the last meeting or a couple of meetings ago. Just wanted to remind everybody that per the 1860 census, about 36% of black and white families owned slaves. So obviously 63% did not. This statue over at Phoenix Park, it's not some notorious general leading the charge to maintain the institution of slavery, as some might want to allude to. The statue represents a regular guy from the state who saw a threat to his homeland and took up arms to defend it. To that man, this statue was erected. The war destroyed the South. For decades, there was no hope of a better economic future for just about everyone, regardless of color. You can kind of think of it as the federal government's first attempt at an urban renewal project, which didn't work out. Regarding some economics of the issue, New Orleans has spent about $2.1 million to remove 4 statues from its historic districts. They were originally estimated to be a cost of around $170,000 total for all 4. Richmond has spent about $1.8 million to remove 14 statues from its historic districts. That's about $128,000 a piece. Promised donations from those who claim to be offended by the statues have not even come close to covering these removals. Would it cost the city of Waycross that much? Probably not. But you need to ask yourself, is any expense like this a good use of tax dollars, city tax dollars? Wouldn't projects like skills training for ex-felons or battered spouse shelters provide the city a better return on its investments? Just how much does it cost for the occasional pressure washing of a statue? Any records available on this? I mean, there's hardscape out there to be cleaned anyway. Who at the city has approached the purported owners of the statue regarding to help cover some of the costs of cleaning? I'll take a show of hands. You know, speaking of both sides, you'll probably be disenfranchising about 10% of the town, whether you take it or leave it. The other 80%, I don't think most people consider this an arguable issue. Even the recent Journal Herald opinion poll seems to indicate that. What I do think is that tearing down a 100-plus-year-old historic statue in a downtown historic district is really nothing more than an attempt to make a political statement. And I'm sorry to see this occurring, even in our small town. There's no net positive gain here. And to continue with this discussion takes away from important issues. For instance, urban blight, which plagues the city of Waycross and other cities throughout the nation. You know, that's the stuff that the city should be addressing and dealing with. I'll leave you with a James quote. William James. Sometimes the art of showing wisdom is knowing when to ignore something. Thank you.
Thank you.